Alright, not sure how long this video will be. I got a small concern here. Been losing antifreeze over the last several weeks. I'm not figuring out where until I started getting serious antifreeze steam, because the antifreeze is actually hitting the exhaust manifold. And I went over here and I checked, and that tube's dry, so it wasn't coming from there. It wasn't an overflow issue. So no, not yet cool enough. But what I found, how do I get this angle for you? If you can see down in there, right here, that's all wet. There's a plastic Y-pipe piece in here that is cracked and it spits right onto the manifold. So that's my issue. Lucky thing is Dorman makes these things, so I'm about to replace that. I'm looking to this heater hose I don't like. A lot of them are probably old. They seem okay still, but I did buy a heater hose, and I'm thinking I will replace this leg. I'm pretty sure I'm about to make a huge mess of antifreeze. The second I disconnect and connect this, it's probably going to drain everywhere. But let's get to it. Alright, so I removed that portion of the air intake so I get more access to it. And as I'm just screwing around trying to put clamps on this to keep my antifreeze from draining out of the heater core back there, it just snapped. So that piece of plastic's had its life. You can see it right there. Yeah, it's done for. So I am going to replace this leg of hose. I don't know that I like how it feels down there. So I'm going to take that off too. But yeah, what a mess. I was trying to clamp that down to keep from draining the hose, but I don't think it's really going to work for me that as well as I wanted. Maybe a little bit, but we'll see. One makes just about everything you can need for simple repairs. So here's the little piece that's busted. Obviously it broke within the hose. So there was a crack right up there. So simple little replacement. We'll get that in there. I think that's 5/8, that's 3/4, that's 3/4. Let's just get the old one out and get the new one in. Cut me a piece of hose. This stuff seems much more, it's heater hose straight from Prestone, but all of this comes from my favorite store, O'Reilly's. Seems a lot better hose to me than what was in there. I don't know if this is, that could be the stock stuff, who knows. When we get these clamps off of there, I try to use them on here. I do like these kind. I know some people don't, I do. I did buy a couple of those, about 3/4 inch and 5/8 hose. But this piece that I aim to replace because I just don't trust the way it feels. Doesn't feel like it should. This seems like a much heavier duty hose too, so let's get at it. Well, that was adventurous. So I like this little hose. It's been a great hose, but we've definitely learned here that you cannot leave it out here for the winter time, even if you think you've drained it. It's kind of cool. I mean, shoot, that thing, where'd it go? There's a rubber tube inside this, and somehow pressure expands it. You see, when it doesn't have pressure, it comes down to this little easy manageable, nice lightweight brass fittings. Great. And this kit, you know, it came with this sprayer multifunction deal that's pretty good. I've liked it. I guess I'll have to order another one, but that just means the reminder there is the care for it is take it down to the basement and put it in the storage room over the winter time, because I think that's what happens. It froze and burst. An ice plug burst something there. Kind of crazy. But this little end here worked as a good flush. All I was trying to do is flush out any traces of antifreeze there. You know, I used the purple power to try to help spray that stuff off. I mean, I haven't even tested this yet, and that does occur to me that I may have wanted to test before to make sure my repair holds, that I don't have other leaks down there, but we'll see that in just a second here. Otherwise, I think I'm ready to start it up and let it run for a little bit. I lost at least a gallon low on the radiator. And you see I put water in the radiator, waited for air bubbles to come up, you know, that same game you usually play. But I also went to the overflow tank here and put a whole bunch in there too, so it'll draw it from itself if it's still low in here. And I guarantee it will be. There will be, with the 2 miles of heater hoses going back to the rear, there's going to be air bubbles in there. Which means the fun there is the first time I fire up the heater, it may or may not work until it cycles through enough to get all of the air bubbles out, which is why I'm a little above the hot line. And you look down on these tanks, you've got lines down there, hot and cold. It tells you where the level's at, so I put it above hot. This engine is hot because I've just been running around. But yeah, let's fire it up and see. Let's see if we get any leaks or anything here. I do believe it held. I don't see any signs of antifreeze pissing out of that joint anymore. I think the fact that it broke when I was taking it apart definitely confirmed it was the issue. Notice on that startup, some stuff in here that gets wet, doesn't like it. Yeah, I didn't do the full crisp fix, blanket everything, seal everything, no. I just dumped water on it. It'll dry out. It's also one of the reasons I kind of waited a little bit and let the heat that's already on the motor dry things off. Yeah, I got the heater on full blast, both heaters in the truck. I believe that's holding now. Now if I could just lock down that transmission fluid leak. But 20-year-old truck, yeah, I feel heat going in through here. So it's flowing. But you figure a 20-year-old truck, this kind of stuff is going to break. It's going to happen. So you just got to be prepared to deal with it. Luckily enough, that was in a simple spot. Repaired one of the suspect hoses. The other ones, who knows. A bunch of them are short because there's a whole control manifold down in there. Controls the flow of where it's going, when it's going, which heater's on, which not. But yeah. Short one for today. Simple repair. Feels good about it. Because I would have paid a shop probably an hour to do that. That's $80 for a mechanic to do that. Plus the parts, which cost me, what, another $50? So I spent $50, did it myself. Lucky enough today that I had the time to be able to pull that off. All right. If you come this far, hope it did you some good, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.